Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I would like to say thank you to all the new subscribers. I know I say that for every single video, but I've been getting at least a couple of subscribers for every video. So thank you to all of you, and the people that actually suggested the games that I picked up in in the previous video. Kind of not exactly reaching out to me, but I've had two of them have actually got commented on it. So yes, I know I didn't include your names. I promise in the next one I will do so. But you know who you are. You know you're the one who suggested it. So I guess you could take solace in that. And so if you like this kind of content, or there's just any of the content that I put out there, if you are someone new, please hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. And even if you don't, thank you anyways, just for even viewing, watching the video. It just means a lot to me. Everything means for the YouTube algorithms for my content to get out there, to hopefully keep growing. And I can't do that without all of you. And I just want you to know that I greatly appreciate it. Every single one of you. So, with that out of the way, let's get into this video. So, this video is actually going to be about the games that are coming out this month for the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2. And, you know, I was looking at it, counting up how many games we actually have. I don't know. Obviously, not all of y'all are as old as I am, but maybe you grew up in the days where I've seen like, or maybe my recollection is just that bad, but I could have sworn like as many games as we see coming out in each month is what we saw in a year. And I just don't have time for all of these games or all the money to get all these games. So it's so it's good on one hand to be able to have all these games to choose from that are coming out. It's also bad for my wallet. and but I mean I guess it's good too that I don't have any shortage of any like for whatever it is I want to play video games. I could probably take like a year break, not buy any more games, and still be content just not playing any of the games twice. I'm just saying. But I don't know if all y'all have, but that's not what you're here for. You're here to find out what games are coming. And first and foremost, the game coming out that released today. One of the Switch's most controversial games, which I did pick up. Mario Galaxy plus Mario Galaxy 2. And I say it's controversial because a lot of people were I don't know which words you want to call it, but they were just really not liking the fact that it's a $70 price tag. The only other $70 game that we have for a regular game on the Nintendo Switch is up there, which is Tears of the Kingdom. Every other game was about 60. So if you're thinking maybe if it was going to be a full priced Nintendo Switch game, maybe $60, not 70. But Nintendo does their own things. And also, the fact that we are, basically you already have Super Mario Galaxy, which was already released, and the Super Mario All Stars for the 35th anniversary for Mario. And then they did what they did, people that know. So you already had Mario Galaxy. You could play it one way on the Switch already, but now they just added Switch 2. And if you were to get these digitally, it's $40 for each one digitally. I'm like, why would you? Then just go ahead. I mean, I guess, but just to throw this out there and forewarn anyone, just to let y'all know, I have not actually played the Galaxies. I played the Nintendo 64, played the heck out of that one, and then I played a little bit of Mario Sunshine. But I did not play any of the Galaxies. So I'm actually really looking forward to being able to play this on my Switch. And actually putting it on my Switch 2, because on the Switch 2, it's got a free update to update all the graphics. From what I understood was it's including mouse controls, but the way that it works is not exactly the way that you're thinking that it works, apparently. I don't know. I have not played these games, so I don't know what they were going to be doing with the mouse controls. So, and more than likely, I probably won't even use them. I haven't actually used the Switch controls, even though they're a great feature for the Switch 2. I just haven't had a game in which I've had to utilize them. So, the next game that we actually have coming out on October 9th. This is a game that is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, fully on cartridge. And it is Yooka-Laylee. I did not play the first one. But this is actually, it looks like it's a platformer, 3D, I guess. But this actually remaster has new content on it. It's going to have the new improved gameplay mechanics. I think it has a greater the frame rate on it. I believe that was updated and everything too. And so it looks interesting. It's good that it's fully on cartridge. So people were afraid that it was actually going to be, like most of the Nintendo Switch 2 games, was going to be a game key card. But that's not the case. Fully on cartridge, and it just looks like a really charming game. Like I said, I did not play the first one, but this looks like something I might be interested in. Now, am I going to pick it up day one? Probably not. I will probably try to wait on it, see if it happens to actually go on sale, like during Black Friday, or maybe a little bit on down the future. If people just don't like it very well and they start trying to sell it cheap on eBay or something like that, I might be able to pick it up that way. But we'll see. Then, coming out on October 10th, we have Disgaea 7 Complete. And this is actually coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 by NIS America. And it is actually going to be exclusive to the Switch 2. And it includes all the previously released DLC. It's got some new content. And so that sounds good. Includes I think it includes a mini poster and everything. But it's a game key card, which a lot of people were not liking, especially coming out from a publisher, or is it a distributor? I can't remember, whatever NIS America is. Because usually all their games, they're really good at putting them fully on cartridge. But a lot of people were just upset about that. And I believe down there, I'm not 100% certain. I can't go and look at it right now, but I believe I actually have Disgaea 7. I might be mistaken. But, yeah, I believe it's down there. It's the collector's edition. Yeah. But, so, have I played it yet? No. I've played the other Disgaeas, but I haven't gotten around to playing for 7. And I actually really like them. The art style that they have on there is very unique and charming, and just how you can get ridiculous amounts of damage, that's always satisfying. And the gameplay mechanics that are in there and the strategic aspect of it, they have a decent story to go on, but maybe this might be something you might be interested in picking up. Then, also on October 10th, we have Little Nightmares 3. I did not play the first two, like I if you've watched the channel, you know I'm not a big horror fan. This is like a horror puzzle platformer game, and I do know some friends that are actually really like them or like these games. I'm not one of them, but it's coming out for the Switch and the Switch 2, and it has a two-player online co-op. This is the first game that has incorporated this. But when it says online co-op, does that? I wasn't actually certain if it just means okay. If you're like me, you don't really have friends with a Switch to be able to play with. Do you have to try to just find someone to be able to play with you, or can you, if you actually happen to have someone there in the house, is it a local co-op? It didn't specify. I didn't do much research into it, but if you don't have friends and you don't have to play online, you can use the AI for the co-op on this. And so then, a couple of days, October 16th, we have the big game that is releasing for the month of October. Well, one of the big games that is releasing for the month of October, and that is Pokemon Legends ZA. I I've been looking forward to this. My wife has been looking forward to this. She played Arceus. I played a little bit of it because it was her game, her run through. She was playing it, and I just kind of picked it up every once in a while to help her out. And it was just a really interesting take on the Pokemon series. I mean, completely different from the other Pokemon games that we'd played. And it was, I don't know, I just really find it fun and interesting. And I'm looking forward to this coming out. It will be on the Switch instead of the Switch 2. And this actually coming out as a bundle for the Switch 2. So you would be able to get the Switch 2 and then the Pokemon Legends ZA. Unfortunately, like the Mario Kart bundle, it's just going to be like a code and box. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the code and boxes, but this is actually, I don't know. There's a bunch of people that are really all for it. Then there's a bunch of people that are not for this, and I happen to be in the first category. I really can't wait for this to come out. It just looks like something special, and the Mega Evolutions and everything that's going to be on this. I was a big fan of Sword and Shield. Has Scarlet and Violet, although we didn't play it yet because we kind of played it together as a couple. But yeah, so I'm just looking forward to this. Then a couple of days later, about a week, I guess. Yeah, it's a week. Another game that I'm looking forward to. Got kind of a lot of people didn't like the demo for it, but you have Persona 3 Reload coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 as a game key card, yes. But people were upset that for this, that it's not including any of the DLC that's been previously recorded or released. You're going to have to pay extra for it. And you know what? I'm just going to say this out. I'm just happy to be able to play the game. That's it. I don't care about DLC, frame rates, and stuff like this. I just really want to play the game. And that's all I'm going to say on that one. Same Day is a game that I know a lot of people aren't enthusiastic for, but I personally am because it has just personal, sentimental kind of just for remembering things for me from my past. You have Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. This is like a remaster of the original Plants vs. Zombies game. And it is going to be coming to the Switch. And it actually, if you go to look it up right now, and you want to try to pre-order it, it's showing that it's like digital only, but it has been confirmed, just not exactly with the release date, if it's going to be this date or releasing on a later date, but there is a physical release, but just doesn't have a date. So I don't know why, but there it is for that. And then the very next day, October 24th, we have Once Upon a Katamari. This is actually going to be releasing on the Switch, and this is the very first new Katamari game that we've gotten in 13 years. All the other games that we've been getting recently, they're all remasters of previous games in the series. And if you haven't played these are like cozy, kind of laid back action puzzle type games. You're just there, you're rolling a ball, so first you start picking up little blades of grass. Then you can pick up something bigger as your ball grows. And then it keeps growing, so you keep picking up more and more things. Eventually you can pick up like people and animals, and it's hilarious and a fun just little game as a change of pace for everything. And yeah, so I'm actually kind of interested in picking this up. Uh, I think the only other Katamari game I played was Katamari Damacy Reroll. I think that was the name of it. But it was actually pretty interesting, fun to play. The very next one, October 28th, we have 2 Point Museum. Comes out for the Switch 2, and this is a business simulator. I have not played any of the other 2 Point games, but I've heard some kind of good things about it. And looking at the trailer, it looked kind of pretty interesting. Might be something. I don't know what the price tag for this will be, but I might pick this up. And so you're just managing museums. So you get to come up with exhibits and displays, put them around inside your museum, and trying to design things for how it's going to be the flow of customers, handling, I guess, complaints. And so I don't know what to actually expect for it, other than it just looked pretty cutesy, kind of laid back. I don't know, just looks like something that you can do just to kind of kill some time if you don't have anything. But I have something coming out 2 days later that I am super pumped up for, looking forward to it. I got the collector's edition to actually go with the collector's edition that I have right here for Dragon Quest 3 HD Remaster, but we have Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake coming out. And this will be the conclusion for the Erdrick trilogy. Wow, I can't talk. But so we have 3. Now you got 1 and 2 trilogy done. So that'll be nice to have all 3 games. I've actually been holding off on 3 until these 2 games came out, so I could play all 3 of them in the chronological order, back to back. So I've heard just great things about 3 and then wanting to play it, but I've just been pushing it aside, waiting for this. And it's actually coming to the Switch and the Switch 2. The Switch 2 is a game key card, unfortunately, but Switch is fully on cartridge. So that's actually what I got. And what I kind of don't like about this is that there is no upgrade path like they've been doing with so many of their games. Maybe not necessarily like Square Enix or the Dragon Quest games, but there isn't a Switch 2 like upgrade, so I can't just get my Switch and then buy an upgrade. So that kind of stinks. But very next day, another RPG. Yay! My time just goes right out the window even more. You have the Tales of Xillia remastered. I did not play the original Tales of Xillia because I did not own a PS3. I have the PS1 and the PS2. I did not have a 3, 4, or 5. None of that. But I am actually looking forward to this. I've played some of the other Tales games. We've played through Graces, Abyss. I know there's like 2 other ones. Oh, Symphonia. And there's 1 or 2 more that I've actually played. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But this actually has some features for upscaled graphics, lots of quality of life features, 60 FPS on it if you're into that kind of thing. But it's got like auto saving, which is like a big thing for RPG people. I mean, nothing stinks worse than something happens and you have to backtrack hours worth of gameplay because you just didn't save. Auto save can save you. Yes, I understand how that works. Auto save can save you in the games. So that's something else I'm actually looking forward to. But also on 31st, the very last game that we have here on this list, we have Mina the Hollower. I've played the demo. If you actually want to know my thoughts on the demo, check out the video. It should be, I don't know how, but it's the previous video I did for Mina the Hollower, the demo, which I really liked it. It is very reminiscent of Legend of Zelda classics. It's got the 8-bit 8-bit Game Boy Color like style graphics, although they're updated like a little bit just in how the gameplay for it works for your action. And actually on the Switch too, this game is going to run at 120 frames per second. It's actually the very first 120 frames per second game that is actually coming to the Switch 2. So they are using that hardware just to get that game. But even on the regular Switch, it's still going to run at 60 FPS, which isn't bad. So, and it says that it is going to be getting a physical release, although I couldn't find a way to pre-order it, even going on the website. So I guess they just don't have it as of the recording this. It's been confirmed that will be a physical release. They just don't have the pre-orders and everything for it put in, so you can actually get it. And this is actually set like a kind of horror themed world, even though it's not really horror ish. I mean, you're fighting like zombies and skeletons and everything, and the dodging for like burrowing underneath the ground was it's very interesting to me, and it seems like the gameplay, while it's not all that complicated, it seems like it's going to take a little bit of time to master all the moves and for picking weapons that are actually going to be working for your play style and a bunch of different things that wasn't included in the demo but was in the trailers. So, but these are all the games that are coming out physically that I was actually kind of interested in. Uh, there are actually a lot more games coming out that are digitally. If you actually want to try to do some research on your own and try to figure out what those games are. But if you like these videos, I will try to do these at the beginning of every single month just to kind of let y'all know what to be on the lookout for during the month. And also helps me from knowing what exactly is coming out as well. So I hope you all like this video, and I will see you all next time.